What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the 10 best bowl game wins in my opinion. These are 10 bowl game wins that I think were very impactful for these programs. So I'm just going to go through some of the highs of bowl season. And this may be an unpopular take, but at number 10, I have Syracuse's Holiday Bowl victory over Washington State 52-35. Not only was this a high-scoring and fun, explosive game, but with this win, Syracuse secured their second 10-win season in the last 20 years. This Syracuse team has not been a very good program over the last 10 to 15 years, but the first-year head coach Fran Brown led this team to a double-digit win season, and Kyle McCord had an excellent season and led the country in passing yards. The Syracuse team also had over 600 total yards of offense in this game. It was a dominant win for Syracuse, and it was a very fun game to watch. I'm interested to see what this Syracuse team does in the future with Fran Brown as the head coach, but I do have Syracuse's win over Washington State in the Holiday Bowl at number 10. And at number 9, I have USC's Las Vegas Bowl victory over Texas A&M 35-31. Look, USC went through some huge adversity this season. USC lost 6 football games, and this is not what USC fans want from this program. But we got to remember, 5 of those losses were by 1 possession, and they led in like all of those games. This is a USC team that was probably a couple plays away from being a double-digit win team in 2024. But we have to give props to them for finishing the season in a big way, beating Texas A&M, an SEC school, and coming back from behind double digits. Jada Maiava, the quarterback, had an up-and-down game. He had 300 passing yards and 4 touchdowns, but he also had 3 interceptions. Regardless, USC still found a way to win this game. But heading into year 2 in the Big Ten, this is the year that they need to take that step forward. There's a lot of pressure on Lincoln Riley to rebuild that defense. I do think the defense is trending in the right direction, and this was definitely a great way to end the season, beating Texas A&M 35-31. So I do have USC's Las Vegas Bowl victory over Texas A&M at number 9. At number 8, I have Notre Dame's Sugar Bowl victory over Georgia in the college football playoffs 23-10. I don't have this too high on my list because I was actually expecting Notre Dame to beat Georgia, so this really wasn't a shock to me at all. If this was a shocking win and more dominant win, I would have had this game higher in my ranking. But this was really just a defensive slugfest, and Notre Dame had a couple of turnovers that really won them this game. But I do have to have this game in my top 10 because it was a huge playoff win for Notre Dame. And coming into the season, I don't think anybody would have expected Notre Dame to beat a dominant team like Georgia. But this just was not the same dominant Georgia team as previous years. Regardless, this was still a big win for Notre Dame in the 12-team playoff era, and I do have their win over Georgia at number 8. And now they are playing in the national championship game this Monday. At number 7, I have Navy's 21-20 victory over Oklahoma in the Armed Forces Bowl. Look, Oklahoma came out hot in this game, 14-0. It looked like this game was going to be a blowout, kind of like I was expecting it to be. But Navy absolutely shocked me in this game. The SEC wasn't as good as I thought it was this year. And Navy beat an SEC school, and this was a huge win for Navy, and they won double-digit games. This is just another one of those games where coming into the season, you would have thought I was crazy if I told you Navy was going to beat Oklahoma in a bowl game. But Navy secured a 10-win season with this win. Blake Horvath played an incredible game. He had 18 carries for 155 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Navy just grinded out a big win. So I do have Navy's victory over Oklahoma at number 7. At number 6, I have UConn's Fenway Bowl victory over North Carolina 27-14. Look, I don't think North Carolina was a big favorite in this game, but you could still consider this game an upset. UConn beating North Carolina was pretty incredible to see, and UConn had a 9-win season, one of their best seasons in a long time. In fact, UConn has not had a 9-win season since 2007 in the Big East. It might not be this super impressive win because North Carolina was kind of in shambles. They lost their head coach and a bunch of pieces on the team. But I still can't take this win too lightly. They dominated North Carolina, a Power 4 team, and they won 9 games. And because of that, I do have UConn's Fenway Bowl victory over North Carolina at number 6. At number 5, I have Michigan's ReliaQuest Bowl victory over Alabama 19-13 in a low-scoring battle. For the second season in a row, Michigan beats Alabama in the postseason. And this one was just very impressive because Michigan beat a top 15 Alabama team. and they also beat Ohio State before that. And now Michigan, I think they have a bright future. They got some pieces returning, and they are recruiting and using the transfer portal at a very high level right now. I could see them winning double-digit games next season. Michigan had under 200 yards of total offense. Their offense was really miserable in this game, to be honest. But their defense absolutely destroyed Alabama and Jalen Milroe. Right off the bat, Alabama had 3 turnovers, and they were down double digits. Michigan really just controlled this game from start to finish, and they ended up winning it 19-13, and it was all because of that defense. I do think this was a big win for Michigan and that program, and I do have Michigan's ReliaQuest Bowl victory over Alabama at number 5. At number 4, I have Iowa State's Pop-Tarts Bowl victory over Miami in the shootout 42-41. I have to have this high on my ranking because this was a massive win for that program. Not only that, but it was a super high scoring and exciting game, and it was just a fun game and an important win for Iowa State. This was Iowa State's first double-digit win season in program history, and this win over Miami secured an 11-win season for a program that has been very bad over the last 50 to 100 years. In fact, this program goes all the way back to 1895, and finally they get a double-digit win season. That's pretty crazy to think about. So this was an absolutely historical season for this Iowa State football program. They have 2 wide receivers that are going to be very valuable in the NFL draft, probably first and second round draft picks. They also got a really good quarterback in Rocco Beck. This was a historical season for Iowa State, and they ended their season with a big win over Miami, and it was a fun shootout. Matt Campbell has done a really good job with this Iowa State program, and we have to give him the credit he deserves. And I do have Iowa State's Pop-Tarts Bowl victory over Miami at number 4. At number 3, I have Illinois' Cheez-It Bowl victory over South Carolina 21-17. And I personally have this higher on my ranking because this was an upset in my eyes. I was expecting South Carolina to win this game by double digits, but obviously the SEC was a bit overrated this season. And similar to Iowa State, Illinois has not been a great historical football team. And this was their first double-digit win season since 2001 in the Big Ten. This was a surprising season for Illinois. Most people were expecting a bowl game or less for them. But they had great production on offense, and the defense really did a solid job in this game. This was just a surprising victory, and they beat an SEC school to finish their season and secure a double-digit win season. And because of that, I do have Illinois' victory over South Carolina in the Cheez-It Bowl at number 3. Illinois has a bunch of returning production heading into next season. It's going to be interesting to see what they do moving forward. At number 2, I have BYU's dominant victory over Colorado in the Alamo Bowl 36-14. And BYU's defense made Shedeur Sanders look like nothing in this game. BYU has been a solid college football team over the last 20 years. They've had some good seasons. In fact, they've had multiple double-digit win seasons. But this is a new era for BYU. They are finally in a Power 4 conference, and in year 2, with Jake Retzlaff at quarterback, and he will be returning next season, this team went 11-2 and had a double-digit win season. This was a very great season for BYU. Jake Retzlaff might just be a top 5 quarterback in the nation next year. He took a massive step forward this year. This was just a very great season for BYU, and they dominated Colorado to end the season. And I do have BYU's Alamo Bowl victory over Colorado at number 2. And at number 1, to no surprise, I have Ohio State's Rose Bowl victory over Oregon in dominant fashion, 41-21. This hurts to talk about as an Oregon fan, but Ohio State completely dominated Oregon. There's no better statement you can make than dominate the number 1 team in the country that beat you earlier in the season. Ohio State had their backs against the wall. They had that bad loss to Michigan, but they have been the most dominant team in the postseason, and this win over Oregon was super impressive. Jeremiah Smith is unstoppable. He was unstoppable in this game. He had nearly 200 receiving yards. It might not be a surprise that Ohio State beat Oregon, but the way they did it was just so dominant. And I do have Ohio State's Rose Bowl win over Oregon because of the stakes and because of how dominant Ohio State was in this game. So I do have Ohio State's win over Oregon in the Rose Bowl at number 1. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. You guys let me know some of your favorite bowl wins from this postseason. But let me remind you guys to like the video and also subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And if you guys love college football, then you'll love this channel because we upload a ton of college football content and we basically cover everything on this channel. So definitely consider subscribing. And also consider checking out my socials down in the description below. But that is going to do it, guys, and peace out.